Here's how to run your first half a marathon for beginners by training within the first 3 months. Hi, my name is Shafina Mustafa. Welcome to my channel, The Legal Goddess. I will go through today how I trained for my first half a marathon within 3 months of training, and I did it around a full-time demanding job working in a law firm and looking after a young family. So I trained 4 times a week. So that was Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays. So that's 4 days per week. I trained for 12 weeks. What I did is that as soon as I got home from work in the evening, I literally just came inside of my house and ran upstairs, quickly got changed, and I went straight back out to do my training and to run for my half marathon. The way I planned for my half marathon, I made a 12-week plan. I literally just went on a Word document on my laptop and made a table on there, putting the numbers in of each mile that I would be running per day of that week, and I literally just printed it off and stuck it on my fridge. So every Monday and every Friday I started off running 3 miles per day. So if that was every Monday and every Friday, I would do that. I would run 3 miles Monday, 3 miles on Friday. I did that for the first few weeks, and then I gradually built that up. After about 2 or 3 weeks, I would say, I then increased those miles to 4 miles. So for the remaining of my training, I did 4 miles on Mondays and 4 miles on Fridays. Now every Wednesday I was running 6.5 miles. So every Wednesdays I was running 6.5 miles. So now we've got Monday, we've got 4 miles, 3 miles increased to 4 miles. Then on Wednesday I was running 6.5 miles, and then Friday, which started off with 3 miles and then increasing to 4 miles. And then we've got the Saturdays. So Saturdays was when I allocated time for my long runs. Now on the Saturdays I started off running 6.5 miles. That was what I did in my first week to start off with. Now in week 2 I increased my Saturday long runs to 7 miles. In week 3 and week 4 I increased it to 8 miles. In week 5 and 6 I increased it again to 9 miles on both of those Saturdays. On week 7 and 8 I then increased it to 10 miles. Then in week 9 I increased it to 11 miles, and week 10 I increased it to 11, and week 12 I increased it to 13.1 to make sure the week before my half marathon that I actually could run the whole full half marathon. It was in my training, and so this was the best way for me to train, is to increment it and slowly increase it every single week or every few weeks, how many miles I was training per week. As I said, that I did my runs in the evenings straight after work, but on the Saturdays I used to get very early in the morning. I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I used to leave the house at 5 o'clock in the morning and do my long runs then, and that was because I was training in the summer, so it was very hot. I remember it very clearly that when I used to train in the evenings, it was more difficult because it was still very hot, even though it was cooler than the day. However, training very early in the morning before the sun is fully out and with a cool breeze, it was much easier for me to run. It was also quiet on the road, so which made it better for me. And the other reasons that I was training so early on a Saturday morning is purely because I have got a young family, I have got a household, I've still got to, do the cooking, the cleaning, the washing up, washing the uniform. So there was a lot to do in the day. So, my life doesn't stop because I'm training for this half marathon. Lifestyle just carries on. It's just a matter of how I've planned it and just navigating through my training in addition to my normal day-to-day routine as well. And the other benefits were that my kids were asleep as well at that time, so it didn't eat into my quality time with them. So each time I went out for a run, now that doesn't matter whether it was in the evenings after work or it was first thing in the morning on my Saturday runs, I would not eat before I went for my runs. I would have a glass of water or half a glass of water before I went out for my run, and that's because I wanted to feel lighter. I didn't want to struggle, or have any stitches while I was running. For example, if I came back from work in the evening and I was really hungry, maybe I'll eat half an apple or half a banana or something, a little bit of a snack just to keep me going, and then have a proper meal afterwards when I came back. And it was the same for Saturdays. On the Saturday, I would have some water in the morning, go out for my run. It doesn't matter how long the run was, whether it was a long one or if it was just 6.5 miles. I'd go out, and then once I came back, had a shower, and then have my breakfast then. So also I would say to you that when you are training, to make sure you stay hydrated throughout the day. Throughout your entire training, do drink plenty of water, more than normal, because you are using your energy, and the blood is pumping throughout your body. So it is really important to make sure you stay hydrated throughout your training and drink plenty of water. As soon as you get back from your run, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Eat really healthy, eat really well, eat plenty of protein and vegetables and salads, and try to avoid takeaways, especially before the half marathon run. But the days that you are running, try your best to eat as well as possible, as good as possible, purely because then you will struggle to run. It's not easy, because you start to feel sluggish and you feel heavy. I mean, there was an event that I had to go to in the daytime one of the days. It was on a Wednesday, and the food that they had wasn't so healthy. I didn't realise how sluggish I felt afterwards. So when I went for my run, I was really struggling to run properly, and that's because of the heavy food that I'd eaten. But I learnt my lesson to make sure to eat light before I actually go for my run, so it doesn't affect my training. Now I'm going to give you some tips that I used for when I was training for my half marathon. Now, as a woman, I wear heels a lot, especially at work and when I go to social events. So when it came to about the last month of my training, I stopped wearing heels completely. Although I do love wearing heels and it makes me feel really good and really confident, but I just wanted to be very careful that I don't get any injuries or hurt my knees in any possible way, because I want to avoid injuries during my training and for my half marathon. And I know that after I finish my half marathon, I can go back to wearing my heels again. That won't be a problem at all. Other tips that I can give you is to make sure that when you are training for the half marathon is to buy some trainers, and that's not just any ordinary trainers. Buy running trainers. You can actually go to your local sports store. It doesn't have to be a branded store, and just speak to them, the people who work there, if you don't know what running shoes look like, and buy some really comfortable running shoes, because that's really important for your feet, because you're going to be doing a lot of miles of training and running. You need to look after your feet. Your feet are really important, and you need to be comfortable. You don't want to be in pain and uncomfortable when you are doing your training and for the actual day of the half marathon. Other things that you may want to consider, either you might already have or consider getting, is either headphones or earphones, So you might want to listen to some music while you are running, so it will be really good to have a playlist that's making you feel good, motivated, and upbeat as well. One more thing that I would advise you to get is an armband where you can put your mobile phone in there. You don't have to get one, you can hold it in your hand, but it does help to free up your hands, because when you are running, you don't really want to hold anything in your hand, you just want to run. And specifically when you are training, and on those days, say for example it's raining or pouring down with rain, if you've got an armband and your phone's in there, it's covered, it's waterproof, so at least you know, and you won't be worrying that your phone will get damaged while you are training for your half marathon. Make sure that you are wearing light clothes when you are training for your half marathon and running for the actual day as well. Now, when I was training for my half marathon, I didn't go to the gym, I literally just ran on the pavement. I used main roads, they were like longer, and it was easier for me to do that rather than going to the gym. Now, when I was training, and in week 12 I completed my 13.1 miles training by running. I did it within 3 hours. Now, you've got to remember, as I've said to you at the start, that I am also a beginner, and so doing it under 3 hours was reasonable time. I think it was 2 hours and 57 minutes, something like that. And then when I actually had the big day when I was running on the half marathon, I completed my half marathon on that day in 2 hours and 54 minutes. So as a beginner, that's your roundabout time to try and aim for, is to do under 3 hours and complete it by then. Now, other things that I want to tell you is that I know that you're training for your first half marathon. You don't put extra pressure on yourself that you have to continuously be running. I couldn't do it. I mean, even when I was doing on the actual day of the half marathon, I alternated between jogging, running and power walking. So as the weeks went on for my training, my endurance did build up and I could run longer, but I've never done a complete start to end of a half marathon where I'm just completely running. So I just want to let you know that it is okay to do a combination of running and jogging and walking as well. It's not easy at all. The fact that you are even doing it is a big thing in itself, so well done. So I just want to let you know that myself, I did not continuously run for the whole of the half marathon. I did a combination of running and walking and jogging as well. Now, the day before the half marathon run, the actual run itself, I tried to make sure that I was as relaxed as possible, positive, having positive affirmations, reading those to myself, and making sure that I was eating healthy, balanced meals. And I made sure to just be as relaxed as possible, going to bed on time, making sure that I've got enough sleep, and I woke up very energized on the big day. Of course, I was very nervous. I had something to eat actually on that day because I wasn't immediately running. I had at least 2 hours before I was going to run, so I just quickly made myself a cheesy omelette to eat before I went. One thing that I really worried about when I was doing my training for the half marathon is that I was very worried that will I even be able to run 13.1 miles? Will I even be able to do this much? How long will this take me? I was very nervous. Every week that I'd go out for my run, I would be worrying about this because I've never run 13.1 miles in my life. I don't think I've even ever walked 13.1 miles in my life either, continuously. So it was a big worry for me building up to the big day. But when I did actually complete those 13.1 miles in week 12, it felt amazing. I didn't think I could achieve that, and I did do it, and I felt really good. That gave me the big confidence for the following week to complete the half marathon within my time, which was 3 hours. And so those worries are going to be there, and it is normal to feel like that. It is okay to feel like that. Just keep persevering, keep training every week. Don't miss a week, don't miss days. If you can, try and avoid it. Of course, now and again life gets in the way. You can't stop life, and so there might be times that you might miss a run or two, but stay consistent to it, because you will see the results. And like myself, I did reach 13.1 miles on the day of my half marathon within 3 hours, and I did make it. So all those worries that I was feeling, I didn't need to. I just need to believe in myself, and that's what I did. And I want to tell you the same thing that you can do, is don't worry too much about it. Just keep going, keep being consistent, keep persevering. So one of the biggest things that I don't want you to forget is on the actual day of your half marathon is to actually enjoy it. That's the biggest advice that I want to give you, is to enjoy the environment, enjoy the run, just enjoy the entire experience itself. And what will help you in while you are running your half a marathon on the actual day is to have some positive affirmations to say to yourself. Just keep saying them to yourself, being positive, and that will get you right to the end. Now, the reason I've made this video for you today is because when I was training for my first half marathon, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had to research about it and just do trial and error when I was on my runs. Each time I went out for my run, I just improved on myself, and that's why I've made this video, so that I can help you to make sure that you are prepared, you've got the right tools to have the best training possible, and also to complete your half marathon training itself. Now, the reason I trained and completed my first half marathon was because I was raising money for a domestic abuse charity named WAITS, which stands for Women Acting in Today's Society. I was raising donations for them, and since then I have completed another half a marathon, and in total, with the 2 half marathons, doing both of them, I've raised just over £2,900. Thank you so much for listening to how to train for your first half marathon for beginners with 3 months training. I hope this video has helped you to now train for your first half marathon. Please do let me know in the comments if this video has helped you, and feel free to comment below if you have any questions at all. If you like my video, please click on the like button, and please hit subscribe if you would like to watch more videos like this.